Oh, so I need to eat something this morning. Didn't eat that much last night, so I'm just gonna make 2 eggs, boiled eggs, because it's easier. Good morning. Wow, every morning these 2 cats are just waiting to get into the office. Well, it's work time, so cats are welcome now. So while the food is boiling, I just want to say good morning, everyone. Welcome to the day of the life of a technology consultant slash an extend developer, also known as a coding developer. So I'll be sipping my coffee right here. As you can tell, I usually wake up around 7 a.m. sometimes 6 a.m. depending on where I am right now in the project. Right now, last week I probably worked from like 6 a.m. to all the way to midnight for the whole week last week. But this week is a little bit lighter now, not that light, but still I have a little bit more time for myself now. But this morning I finally made some coffee, and now I'm making some food. Usually I just make something really simple, either toast if I have any bread, or I make some boiled egg, which I'm waiting for now. So I just set a timer to 7 minutes. That's my ideal time to make a soft boiled egg. I just want to show you guys what I usually do. It's going to be a lot of me just on my computer, but hopefully that won't be that boring. And I'm just going to talk about what exactly I do as a extend developer. So what I do, not just as a technology consultant from the front facing side, but my work is mostly done at the back end as well. Mostly coding in my opinion. So if you're curious of how that life is like, definitely keep watching. Okay, one of the most annoying part of my day is trying to get this adapter here to make this other screen work. So what this is a USB 3.0 to a DisplayPort. I bought this specifically for my work laptop because I want to be able to utilize all my monitors. So as you can see here, this screen is on my laptop now, right? Am I supposed to plug this in? It's supposed to go from here to here now, but for some reason my laptop understands that the screen is supposed to be on this monitor now, but that's not the case. So I spend the time trying to get this to work, so I keep unplugging and plugging. So eventually this will work. Oh, I think my breakfast is ready, so I'll be right back. So I made my 2 eggs. Again, eggs are very simple in the morning. All I really need is a little bit of protein, and then I'll get ready for lunch when the time comes. I usually skip breakfast in the morning, but lately it seems to be something that I need, because sometimes I skip lunch. So at a certain point, it's just me eating dinner. That's it. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I might have to switch this out eventually to something that maybe will connect right away. But for now, this was the most convenient way for me to connect using a USB 3.0. This laptop they gave me, the company laptop, only has the HDMI cable, which I'm using on my ultra wide right now. So this big one is using just one HDMI cable. This one uses DisplayPort and HDMI. My HDMI is currently taken up by this PS5 here and the Switch. So it's either game life or work life. Why not have both? So I'm using DisplayPort for the work laptop, and both my HDMI is using the HDMI splitter. Down here, this is switch between the 2 devices. So that's how my current setup is right now. And then for my HDMI, all I really do is just plug this in. Once it's plugged in, this one usually will go away and this one will turn on. But because you need to turn on this ultra wide, this is the Samsung ultra wide right here, 49-inch, and this is the Acer Predator monitor, 27-inch. And I don't really use the screen here unless I go to the office. Yeah, let me know what you guys are using for your current like work from home setup, and what you guys think I can like improve. So right now I'm just replying back to emails and looking at my messages. So in our company we use Microsoft Teams, so that's what we're doing right now. So I'm seeing people pinging me about some stuff. So right now at this stage, we're currently in the what we call the unit testing phase. So last week, more like the last 2 weeks, I've been doing all the build development with my team. And during that time, our deadline's actually very tight. So that's why you spend a lot of overtime during the last 2-3 weeks trying to get everything set up, so the unit testing team can go ahead and start testing the app. So for now, I'm just gonna continue here, reply back, and then take a look at what else they need from us before I can get started looking at our code to make some updates and enhancements.
Good morning, YouTube. Ah!
Who is this? Okay, so I got an email here saying there's still a bug that's open. So usually they're supposed to put it in our bug system instead of sending it by email, or should I say bug ticket system. But of course I'm going to let them know, and I'm also going to take a look because I'm curious to see why they're still complaining about the issue. So I need to take a look to see, essentially what I'm doing is just going to proxy in as the user and see if I'm still seeing the same as what they're seeing. If not, then they can continue to work because maybe they haven't literally looked in the second time after it was fixed. Yeah, job is a lot of trial and error.
So I got this on Sunday. Been using it. Time to see him use it. It's a little pedaling, little mini bike.
Looks ridiculous.
Here we go. Whoa. He says this is cheap, but I say that if he is willing to, if we can return this and then we can have him split on it, then we could probably get something cheaper. Oh, Shar, what are you doing here, Shar?
Okay, so my first call today is going to be at 8:30 a.m. EST. The call I'm going to be having is for my 2 resources. So currently we're having what we call a shadowing call, where they are 2 new resources who never done Workday Extend before. They have probably had some type of experience with some type of coding, but the Workday Extend is something very unique that they had to learn from people who have already had experience. For me, we would call ourselves an implementer. For the 2 resources we're having, they're more in the support side. So all they really need to do is just have a better understanding of how the extend coding works, because we have a bunch of different ways that we are using logic in our code that they just need to have a bit more like practice on their own. That's why we have these shadowing calls. So essentially all I do is I will share my screen, they can watch me code and think of the logic that I need in order to do what the business wants for the application. So right now it's 8:13. Once it's 8:30, I will then start the call, and I'm going to share my screen and show them like what I'm doing, and if they have any questions, they can ask me during the call. So that's how I had this call. Usually it's daily, this way that they have a more and more opportunity to work with me and also learn as we go, especially since they just recently joined and they have never done Extend or much in Workday yet, so this would be a good experience. Good evening. How are you today? Oh, what's the issue? Got it. You guys talking about the Extend code, right? Gotcha. Did you guys figure it out? Okay, perfect. Got it. So it was like a typo in the data providers, right? In the AMD. Gotcha. I guess before we start, I'm just gonna continue rebuilding my version of the app and what we have in the main app. But before that, you guys have any questions so far? I see you guys have already deployed like your own basic apps on the dev site. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna share my screen and we'll continue from here. So this doesn't have value, and this doesn't have a value, and this doesn't have a value, this doesn't have a value. If any of these don't have a value, then you will always go to the else to return it as false. So all of this condition needs to be met before you can return a true. This is for the ternary operator. So in Java, you can use the question mark to return, and then otherwise would be a colon. Okay, so I just finished my call with my 2 shadowing resources. So now I'm gonna have to join another call now in a minute. This call is gonna be like a stand-up daily bug call, meaning that since unit testing just started, I think about last week, in the beginning, like the late last week, all the testers are now coming together and then putting their bugs together into like a ticketing system that I mentioned earlier. So I'm gonna be joining that call and clarify any questions that they may have during that call, because they seem to need at least one of us from the team. Currently, again, there's only 3 of us. One of them is in Pacific time, and then 2 of us is from Eastern time. And right now, since I'm up already, I can join the call and take a look to see if you have any questions. Boy, so I just finished my call today on the stand-up call. There was a lot of things they wanted to discuss, and then I'm the only one that was on the call, and then later on one of my colleagues came in. That went a little bit but now we're just trying to get all the bugs fixed now so the testers can continue working on what they were testing. So right now I'm on a call with my colleague, another code owner developer as well. So we're just going to look at the main app right now and see what needs to be fixed. Because how it works right now is that I have my pages that I'm working on, and she has her pages that they're working on as well. And since she is basically the bugs are mostly from her end right now, for the issues that they want fixed now, we're gonna look at it first, and then we look at my bugs after. So right now, because our main application is an implementation environment, we're no longer in a dev environment right now. So we can only one person should be able to make changes for now, because we don't want too many people to make changes, because it will overwrite what we were trying to do earlier. So most of the time this week is just going to be connecting with my colleague, another coworker who is currently right now, I'm actually on the call with her, who's making the changes. Once she's done, if she signs off, I will then start working as well from that point, so I can make changes as long as I download the most recent application. So that's how we've been doing it. Think of it like an application folder, like a cloud in each of the environments, and all of them only have one of the main application. So only one person should be allowed to make changes at that time, and when they make the change, we just gotta let each other know that that occurred and that we need to delete our local copy and download the newer version that they just pushed to the implementation time. So I'm gonna continue working with her right now, and then I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, so I have to drop my call with my colleague because I have to join another call now for my therapy session on Talkspace. So it starts actually right now, so I'm gonna go onto video call with her and yeah, just talk about me, I guess, like what's going on. How are you? Doing good. It's been busy. Yeah. Work's been keeping me pretty busy since the last 2 weeks. Thank you. I'll talk to you next time. Okay, bye. Oh. So I just finished my therapy session, so 1 hour long on Talkspace. So I went through a lot of stuff that is happening right now personally this month. So I learned a lot actually from my therapist. Definitely a lot of things I need to think about. But right now it's like what time? It's 12:59. I'm gonna go make lunch and then I will then see where my colleague is at with the code that she's working on for her page. Let's see what's in the freezer. Let's make some spicy octopus dumplings. Yum, yum, yum. Might as well just use it all. Look at these little octopus dumplings. I smell it. So, looks good. So I'm still on the call. It's gonna be another long day today. But yeah, that's my day. Always on the computer. I'll keep working. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be here. Peace.